Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about what to do in NGS if you are absolutely bored and you don't know what to do. But before we jump into that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the most sensible thing to do if you are bored of NGS is obviously to play another game. However, of course, you guys aren't here for that because you guys want to play NGS, you just don't know what to do, how to make Meseta, how to farm for materials, how to prepare for the version 2 update. Well, the very first thing that you should be taking advantage of is the event shop. The event shop will be going away when version 2 kicks in, so all of these items that you can currently purchase with seasonal points will no longer become available. So you want to take advantage of this, especially with the special scratch tickets. If you guys didn't watch my video yesterday, I actually earned like 610 star gems or something from these special scratch tickets over here, and the best part about buying these tickets over here is it actually gives you 2 selector tickets, so you are guaranteed at the worst case scenario 200 star gems. Okay, so please make sure to buy out the scratch tickets and actually use them, because it's just free star gems just waiting for you to pick it up, and it also gives you a bunch of free cosmetic items as well. Now on top of that, you can actually purchase star gems right off the bat as well, so you can get another 100 star gems from the event shop. And this is the thing that I advise many people to do, but a lot of people tend to ignore it and then it bites them in the butt later down the line, and that is to hoard up your minerals. You are going to need a lot of these minerals when you start upgrading your weapons, when you need to limit break, when you need to do all sorts of augmentations as well as upgrades to your weapon as well as your gear. You are going to need a lot of these minerals. A very good example is the augment exchange capsules over here. If we search up Mastery 4, you can see in order to craft Mastery 4, it doesn't just cost 10 Mastery 3 capsules. You actually need minerals. You're going to need 20 photon quartz, you're going to need 20 tetracite to craft 1 capsule. And the thing about these mineral costs is they double each tier. You're going to see over here, in order to craft Mastery 2, 5 photon quartz, 5 trinite. Mastery 3, 10 photon quartz, 10 trinite. Mastery 4, 20 photon quartz, 20 trinite. So that means when Mastery 5 kicks in, you're going to need 10 Mastery 4 capsules first, then you're going to need 40 photon quartz and 40 tetracite just to craft 1 Mastery 5 capsule. So you are going to need a ton of these minerals because you're going to be burning through them extremely quickly. So please keep that in mind, that minerals are super duper important right now. So if you do have the time, you might want to consider doing your mineral routes again and start farming for a bunch of minerals, because you're going to need them when you start upgrading your capsules. Photon quartz are not easy to get. Tetracite is a little bit easier, so that's not that big of a deal. However, the thing about minerals is you are time gated with the minerals. Right now, we don't have that problem because everyone's swimming in a bunch of minerals. However, the moment we get new gear and we start upgrading and then we start spending all of these minerals, we're going to be blasting through this extremely quickly, and you don't want to hit a bottleneck where you're time gated because you didn't do your due diligence and you're out of minerals. And this is why I highly recommend people to buy out all of the minerals available in the event shop, because it is the most efficient way to get all of these minerals. If you guys remember, farming Infernium as well as Blizzardium was an absolute nightmare to get. Well, you can get a ton of them. You can get 100 Blizzardium here, you can get 100 Infernium over here simply by spending your seasonal points. This is very easy to pick up. So you really want to make sure that you purchase all of these, since they don't cost that many points either. Tetracite, you can buy 100 of them. Photon quartz, you can buy another 100 of them. It's very easy to pick these up. So remember, I said Mastery 5. Mastery 5 is going to be a craftable thing, which means you are going to need Mastery 4. So you might want to pick up the 10 Mastery 4s over here, sit on it, wait until Mastery 5 is craftable, then you can start making your Mastery 5s if you want to go that path, or you can sell it to the market as everyone's going to be scrambling to get the new best in slot, so the Mastery 4 prices are going to go up. So that is something you can consider. Another thing is, of course, all of your Gigas capsules. Now, Gigas 4 is going to be outranked. When Gigas 5 comes out, Gigas 4 is not going to be best in slot anymore, simply because, well, there's a better capsule. However, Gigas 4s are still a very good placeholder, or maybe you don't care about min-maxing and you're okay with mid-tier gear. The Gigas 4 capsules are a very good choice to just sit on it, use it onto your new armors, your new weapons, and you're good to go. Another thing you might want to consider is, of course, the Defi capsules. Remember, the Defi capsules only work in Duel Quest. However, if you have not gotten the idle animation that I currently rock right now and you do want this, now is probably a very good time to start picking up a bunch of those Defi capsules. augmenting it onto your armors and your weapons, and start attempting your Duel Quest challenges. Because remember, you just need to clear the Duel Quest. You do not need an S rank. So as long as you can complete it, that is all that matters. So you complete all 4, boom, you get your idle animation, you get all of the nice rewards, super easy. The next thing is kind of a no-brainer, and that is of course to complete all of your limited time tasks over here, as you do get a bunch of rewards. So as you can see over here, when you complete all of the main storyline, when you complete all the mini episodes, when you join an alliance, there's a ton of rewards over here that you can complete in order to get a bunch of goodies. You know, get more photon chunks 2A and 2B, you get 30 of each by farming 1 million seasonal points. And remember, I just gave you a bunch of reasons why you should be farming seasonal points to buy out the event shop and get all of those minerals as well as capsules, so that you're ready for version 2. And there's a bunch of quests over here that reward you with seasonal points. Remember, those seasonal points that you get from these rewards do count towards your 1 million points. So you can definitely just work through all of your limited time quests over here. As you can see over here, I am done with all of my limited time quests. All I have left are the premium PSO2 day quests, which I honestly don't really care, because I don't care about the yellow triggers. But the reason why I don't care about the yellow triggers is because I have 828 of them. I'm swimming in these. I really don't need any more yellow triggers. However, if you are short on yellow triggers and maybe you want to hit level 75 immediately once the patch kicks in, then sure, you can start farming combat zones and start farming for your yellow triggers. Now, of course, you could just buy the yellow triggers from the player shop and spend your meseta, but personally, I like to farm everything myself. I don't really like to use the player shop for things that I can get by just playing the game. Now, the next thing a lot of people tend to ignore is your quick food. When we go to quick food and we go create from my recipes, you can see I have a bunch of recipes. The main recipe that I use is my Retem Crisp. The reason why I use the Retem Crisp recipe is because I have a surplus of all of these different materials, because when Retem came out, I went really crazy with the deft farming, with a lot of exploration zone farming, and I was able to hoard up a ton of these ingredients. The main thing is of course the Retem Crisp meat, Retem Rich meat. These are the more annoying ones, and since I did my material gathering route every single day, I've got a bunch of crisp mushrooms, some crisp Retem carambola, as well as the scallops. So all of these food ingredients have basically carried me over through the entirety of Kavaris and Stia, as well as chapter 5. I never had to go to the new regions to collect a bunch of materials because I had such a huge surplus of ingredients from the Retem region. However, if we are to look at my Kavaris recipe, I am out of crisp Kavaris meat. If we look at my Stia recipe, I only have 4 crisp Stia meat remaining. So I need to farm more ingredients from these 2 regions if I want to use their specific recipe. However, keep in mind, if you look over here at the boost effect, all 3 of my recipes give the exact same buff, because this is my recipe. It gives me these buffs, and these buffs help me a ton when I'm progressing through the game, because it gives me potency plus 9.2%, damage resistance 5%, HP plus 5%, PP plus 10%. And on top of that, when I eat this recipe in Retem, then I go to another region, for example Stia, I retain the region match bonus effect where I get the weak point damage plus 3%, as well as PP consumption minus 5%, which is absolutely clutch. So it makes my life super easy, and I'll be able to farm much more efficiently as I do get all of these buffs. So on top of everything that I just told you, I would also farm for all of these different ingredients. Remember, you are time gated for all ingredients except for meat. So you can farm for any meats indefinitely by slaying tames. However, if you want any of the seafood, if you want any of the fruits or any of the vegetables, you are time gated because these ingredients do not respawn until daily reset every single day. So that means you can only collect a certain amount of seafood, you can only collect a certain amount of fruits, a certain amount of vegetables, so forth and so on. So you need to look at the big picture and be like, hey, I've got 2 to 3 weeks where I don't really have anything going on. I might as well collect all of these things that are time gated so that when the big patch rolls in, I don't get stuck. Now, while we're on the topic of time gating, don't forget the Aegis Integra exchange. People have been sleeping on this. I keep reminding you guys, but I know a lot of people are sleeping on this. They're literally giving you free Halphinales. Please take it. Don't complain that Halphinale prices are absurd later down the line and that you don't have any because you need to farm Dark Falls, Aegis, blah blah blah. No, you literally get free Halphinales right here. You get your Stia Domina, your Kavaris Domina, your Red Domina, your Il Domina, as well as your Aegis Soul. You combine all of these together and boom, you get 1 Halphinale every 2 weeks. Now, if you don't have a lot of Aegis Integras, all you need to buy is the Stia Domina and the Kavaris Domina. You can get the Red Domina as well as the Ale Domina by farming the yellow triggers, and you get the Aegis Soul by simply running Darkfall's Aegis. So to just prove my point, you can see over here Retem Troopers, this is the yellow trigger. At rank 2, you are guaranteed 1 Retem Domina every single run you do. So you just run this over and over and over, it gives you some use to your yellow triggers, and boom, you've got your red dominas in order to craft your Halphinales. Now if we go to the Ale yellow triggers, we click on this and boom, rank 2. Ale Domina, one of them. You are guaranteed one of these every single run. So you just run this as well and boom, you've got your Ale Dominas, easy peasy. Now if you completed all of that and you're still bored and you still don't know what to do, I highly recommend learning a different class or learning a different weapon, because remember, we are getting a bunch of class balancing, so a lot of classes are going to become much stronger. As you can see over here, I personally have been practicing the bow. I want to learn the bow braver because the bow is getting a ton of buffs with version 2, so it's probably a good idea to learn how the bow actually works in order to complement my katana playstyle. So that is something I'm spending a lot of time investing into so that I can learn how to play the bow braver properly, because the only way that I believe that you can obtain class mastery is by understanding your entire arsenal of all the weapons that your class can use and understanding the strength and weaknesses of each weapons and how they cover for each other. So for example, the braver, if you are to play the katana braver only, like what I've been doing for the past 2 years, you know there is a glaring weakness with the katana, that is verticality. When a boss is really high up into the air, it's very difficult to go all the way up there. Now, of course, you can just multi-weapon with a wired lance and use that as a band-aid solution. However, the braver literally can use a bow. They have a bow in their skill set. So why not learn how to use it so that you could take advantage of it, so when there is an enemy that flies up into the air, look, you can just use your bow and shoot it back down. Once it goes down, then you switch back to your katana and deal big damage. So that is something that I'm spending a lot of time right now, just learning the ins and outs on how to play the bow braver properly so that I can integrate it into my playstyle and just make my braver gameplay a lot more well-rounded. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel, it really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!